Okay, guys. Well, welcome to the Wake Up Call. It's this beautiful Friday, March 22nd. And, well, let's go ahead and get started. I got a lot to cover today, and always just 15 minutes and want to be done in 15 minutes. So got to put it in a concentrated form, but hopefully this is very proper teaching for you. What I want to talk about today, and we've had this, as everybody knows me, my name is Juan Mercado, and been a successful businessman, I would consider a very successful marriage, a successful family, father of 8, and I've always been a student all my life, all my adult life, of personal development, and I've learned along the way and put into practice everything that I'm teaching you, so it's not something that I just read out of a book and it sounds good. Let's go ahead and teach it, but it's actually what I've put into practice in my own life, and it's worked, and so I want to share it with you. It's such a passion I have to share it with you. So as you know, as you've been going through, we did a 8-week series starting last year that we finished in the beginning of the year, and just been going through different topics. But what we talk about is how can we manifest our desires, our heart's desires, and what is it that we have to do so that it's effective. So I want to go, and when you hear my call every Friday, you may go, it kind of sounds the same thing, and it is, because this is such a simple, it's so simple for you to program and get the things that your heart desires that people think it's so simple it doesn't work, but it works if you work it. So today I'm going to talk about just kind of refreshing you on how it works, and then I'm going to talk to you about what I do on a daily basis so that you can actually see how this, what you should be doing. Because some people go, I don't know if I'm doing this right. Am I doing this the way it's supposed to be? Is it going to work? Is it working for me? And if you follow what I've been teaching you, it will work for you. And it is working for you. As a matter of fact, you're already doing it. You're just probably not doing it in the things that you want to manifest. You're doing what I'm teaching you, but in the areas that you don't want. Because what we become, as I've been teaching you, we become our dominant thoughts. So whatever your life is up to today, it's the product of your dominant thoughts. What does that mean? That means that if you're a negative thinker, your life has areas that you've manifested that you're not happy with. And if you're a positive thinker, then you have a lot of areas of your life that you like. Maybe there's just certain areas that you still haven't been able to manifest what you want. How do I do it? And what is a negative thought? A negative thought is very simple. It's thinking of the things that you don't want in your life. And you're like, well, that'd be dumb to do. But we do it because we're emotional beings, and when something happens in our life or something's not going our way, we tend to focus on that because we live in a negative world that reinforces negativity. And because it reinforces negativity, we're programmed to look at the negative side of things, not the positive side, what is positive thinking? Positive thinking is not being happy all the time. Positive thinking is simply thinking of the things that you want in your life. That's it. You think about the things that you want in your life. You may be going through difficult situations. You don't want to be in that situation. Then let's not think about that situation. That's negative thinking. Thinking of the things that we don't want. Now, how do we program things in our life? First of all, I want to explain to you, and like I said, all of this is refreshed. Everything you hear from me is going to be set in a different way, the same thing, because I want you to understand that there really is only a few things you have to do on a daily basis to have the life that you want. And it's not rocket scientist. You don't have to go out there and get a college degree for this or get any kind of degree for this. And the training, I'm giving it to you in these 15 minutes every Friday. So you just have to do the work. And you also have to go back to the YouTube channel and listen to each Friday call at least once or twice during the week, okay? So it starts becoming part of your thinking. Now, when you, in America and in the world, but especially in America, we're taught that we have to go out there and work really hard to win, to be successful, okay? And that is called beta thinking. And beta thinking is simply using not the spiritual side, not the power within that God gave us to create, but it's actually going out there and using our own grinded out, physically grinded out, compete with the world way of winning. And that's like the American way. We love the hero story. You know, this guy came from nowhere and he fought and did this and this person. And those are great stories and they make great movies. But what they're not, that is not the philosophy of success. The philosophy of success is working within the spiritual realm, which is the alpha state, okay? And that is not going out there and working alone. What that is that's working in cooperation with everything around us, people, situations, God, working in cooperation. See, if you accomplish something working really hard, you're going to be the only one on top, and everybody's going to try to knock you down. But if you accomplish everything you want in cooperation, you're going to stay there. Now, what's the difference? The difference is that in beta, we need a good old motivation to go out there and just work hard. You know, I watched the movie Rudy, which is a great movie. It's a football movie about this 5'0" guy that was playing football for Notre Dame, and he really wanted to be on the, you know, on the starting lineup, and they finally gave him a shot at the end. And well, you can watch the movie. If I don't have time to explain the whole movie, guys. But the thing is, it's the way that we're programmed in this world to think. Go out there and work real hard for something, and maybe just someday you'll get it, but probably not. Okay, that's really bad odds. I'm the person that I like to work when the odds are against me, and I know that if I have to compete with the whole world, my odds are probably slim to none that I'm going to get what I want. But if I know that my odds are 100%, at some point it's 100%. Can't tell you exactly the day that it's going to happen, but it'll happen. I just like those odds. Who wouldn't take those odds? If you're 100% guaranteed you're going to win. And that is using the power within, using the power that God put inside of us to be able to create the life of our dreams. And that's called alpha state. And alpha state is not working hard for something and trying to go get it. But alpha state is when it comes to you. You're programming. You don't need motivation to go out there in beta state. And beta state, it simply means you're awakened state. When you're awake, when you're ready to go out there and work, that's beta state, okay? Alpha state is in that sleepy mode, like we've been talking about every single Friday. It's that sleepy mode where you're going to sleep and you're awake. That's the alpha state, and that's where we start programming. Okay, that's where we start programming what we want. And instead of having to go out there and work for it, it's going to start coming to you. That's the law of attraction. Everybody's heard of the law of attraction. Most people have. Wouldn't say everybody, but most people have heard the law of attraction. Been popularized by a book called The Secret, or they made a movie out of it. What that is, that's basically having things come to you. Okay, and we do that and create that through the alpha state. And it's very simple how we do it. I'm going to teach you what I do on a daily basis so that I don't fall and I avoid those pitfalls, so that I always continue to get what I want and not what I don't want, okay? So now motivation is great, guys. I'm not, I motivate. I'm a motivational speaker at times, and I love motivating, and I love hearing motivational speeches. But that's going to be like the cherry on top, okay? That's not the meat. You're never going to be motivated enough to go out there and accomplish everything that you want if you're just working in beta state. Because why? Because all of your life up to now you've been programmed in a negative way. And what's always going to win when the conscious mind is battling an idea with the subconscious mind will always win. Will always win. So, there's a saying that says that when there's a will, there's a way. But that's not necessarily the way it works. See, will is us going out there and fighting for it. It's us going out there and having to go get it, having to be on our top of our game to go create it. Well, the other side of it is just letting it come to you because it's programmed in your subconscious mind. Okay, so now in the few minutes I have left, I'm going to explain to you what I do on a daily basis. So remember, alpha state is when you're in a sleepy state. It's that simple because you're probably on this call, and I wish I could just give you my experiences and you'll know that this works, but you're probably on this call going, I can't believe this, so I'm going to act like I'm falling asleep, and I'm not, and I'm thinking about the things that I want, and I'm seeing myself with emotion, having those things, and seeing the pictures of those things, and then I fall asleep, and then that's it? Yep, that's it. Because the negative areas in your life, the things in your life that you don't like, that you have in your life, that's how you created it. It's those little things, those little nagging things, nagging negative thoughts that you always thought. You falling asleep, you think about it. When you're tired, you're thinking about it. And now you're creating more of that. But now we're going to turn it. We're going to turn that tide and create the things that you want. It's that simple, guys. And then in the beta state, which is your awakened state, and you know, we're not trying to get too technical here, guys. Alpha state, dreamy state. Beta state is when you're out walking around and you're 100% conscious and you're ready to go and start your day. That's beta state, okay? And alpha state is where you're going to create the life that you want. It's called seeding. Alpha state is where you seed everything, and then beta state is where it starts coming to you. And what I do on a daily basis is this. So I live my life. I wake up in the morning, and right away my wife and I, we go into alpha state, the dreamy state, or we stay in the dreamy state because we're in the dreamy state, and we put a little, some relaxing music to leave us in that state, and then we start seeding. It's called seeding. Just like when you seed something in the ground, that's seeding. You start seeding those thoughts for the day. You start imagining your day going great. You say the affirmations that I talked on the last call, and then you just continue to see what the things that you want. And if something starts creeping from the previous day that is negative, all you do, you remember your brain and your subconscious mind is a computer. Okay? It's a computer program is your subconscious mind, and then your keyboard is you when you're conscious, okay? So you control what goes in there. And what I do is just very simple. If a negative thought comes in when you're in alpha state, you just go cancel, cancel, clear. And the negative thought can't stay in alpha state because alpha state is a realm where you really, nothing negative affects you because you're in that. You know, just remember, when you're real sleepy and somebody's telling you something, I mean, does it really affect you? No, because it's you've lowered your brain waves where you're just not in beta state to be able to push those buttons of your emotions, okay? So of negative emotions, okay? You're dreamy. So I do that in the morning, and then I wake up and I start my day. So does that mean everything goes perfect? No, it doesn't. So what happens is when I start seeing signs of things that concur with the positive thoughts that I've been having in alpha state and the things that I want, I go with it. I flow with it. So I'm looking for something, whatever it is, you know, I can't think of an example right now, but things that flow to my life from the things that I've been wanting, I go with it. And then when something negative pops in my life, and I'm like, it wants to take over. Maybe an old bill. Maybe, you know, something happens. A negative event happened in your life. What I do at that moment, and my emotions start going crazy, they start building up, like I start feeling that worriness, that fear in the gut. Then what I do is I stop. I breathe. So you take a deep breath in, and you got to take twice as long to 3 times as long breathing out. So you go, and what I do is, say my emotions are running high because, you know, I'm a general contractor as well. It's one of my businesses. I have a construction company. Something negative happened. A customer called me. He's really upset about something that didn't go right, wasn't done right. So all I do is I just say, okay, well, I'll get with you in a minute, but I go into my alpha state. I calm myself down with these just breathing in and out. Breathe in, you know, fill up your lungs with air, and then take twice as long, 2-3 times as long breathing out. And that's going to calm your brain waves. And then I'm going to say cancel, cancel, clear. And I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to imagine the customer calling me or talking to me when I see him in person saying, oh, everything worked out. Your guys fixed it. Or, I look at it what I want to see. Instead of doing what naturally comes to you, is just escalating the situation in your mind, and then when you get there, it is escalated. I do the opposite. And and that is not an easy thing to do, guys. I'm not saying this is easy because the emotions are in play here, but I do it. I do it until I feel it. Even if I'm thinking this is going to be a disaster, but I start saying no, and I cancel, clear, and then I see them saying, no, everything's great. Oh, it turned out perfect. Oh, it's really what I want about. I do that. I can tell you example of when I've done this and turned the tide. And exactly what I was thinking, exactly what I was saying in my mind they were going to say, they say it. And if I had more time, I would give you examples, but I'm out of time. So we're out of time, guys, but this is one of those calls where if you really want to change your life, because it's up to you. See, I can't change your life for you. I can't want this more for you. I can't want a better life for you more than you want it for yourself. But if you really want a better life, you try this for 90 days, and you're going to see. You're going to start having this happen, that it becomes normal and you don't even realize you're doing it. That's amazing, because that's sometimes what happens to me. It just works so much that I even take it for granted, but I always come back, and that's why I teach this, because I come back so that I can appreciate and be grateful for the power that God has given us. Guys, if you have to, when this gets put on the YouTube channel, just go back, listen it a couple of times, start putting it into practice, guys. That's the work. It's simple work, but we have to do it every single day, guys. Okay, well, I'm out of time. Have a great weekend. Love you guys, and I'll see you next Friday.